So don't forget to follow me on Instagram, High Carb Health. Hit the follow button and click on the green H to see what I get up to. What I eat, what I do, it's all here. You can follow me on what I eat as well. So check it out, guys. Anxiety. How do we deal with anxiety? How do we get rid of this fear that we have and this worrying of where the next toilet will be? I think this is one of the biggest issues that people face when they're going through colitis or Crohn's disease, when they have the disease. And what are some of the ways that you can overcome these issues? And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is that what did I do to get over some of those problems that I faced? And everyone goes through these problems. It's part and parcel of healing. It's part and parcel of having this disease. And you have to try and make sure that you don't let it get to you and you don't give it power. Because if you give it power, then it's going to bite you in the bum. So what did I do? I think, in terms of my case and my healing journey, it's going to be a little bit different to yours. But in some ways we can relate, because when you have to step out that door, that's when shit happens. And you get this fear, you get this something, it just envelops your body, and you're like, no, this worrying or this issue, and that you have to find a toilet, or you need to know where a toilet is before you go out somewhere. And you don't have that safety net. You don't have that safety of being at home because of the urgency, because of the bowel movement situation, because you may crap your pants, and it's such a big fear that we have. And how did I manage to get over some of these issues that I faced? Well, one thing was for sure, I made sure that my diet was the best it could be at that time. Okay, so I realized that if I got one part of this healing journey right, which was my diet, that was the easy part. There's one constant, which is the diet. The mind is far, far harder to kind of accept. It's far harder to heal than the food that we eat, because you're putting the same thing inside your body, and that's physically changing you. But the mind creates a lot of issues, and that can also physically change you. So when you've got one thing right, you can focus on the other things, and that's what I did. I realized that, how do I get over this fear? Fear of tomorrow, fear of in the next hour, what's going to happen? And slowly, what I told myself was, everything happens for a reason, yeah? If you're going to go out, and if you have to shit your pants, you have to shit your pants. Now, this is not the best way of thinking, but what it did to me was release the pressure that I had on myself. Because when you step out that door, you're always wondering what's going to happen. And so when I stopped wondering, when I just chilled out, and when I let my mind be at ease, I've suddenly found that I don't actually need to go to the bathroom anymore. That issue or that tense feeling that you get disappeared, because I just started to accept that, well, okay, if I do shit in my pants, I shit in my pants. And that is what may happen. And I also used different techniques to let the focus go away from this toilet business, or when that pressure of going to the bathroom comes, like, what do you do? And I think I allowed myself to focus on something else, which then helped me not think about the toilet or the bowel movement happening. And I guess over time, I learnt the hard way, because I did shit my pants many times when I was outside. Luckily, it was just before my driveway, so it wasn't like in the middle of the street where everyone was. So I'd made it that far, which was good. But over time, as my colon got stronger and stronger due to the food that I ate, that pressure was gone. And then instead of getting that urgency, I was able to hold my stool in a little bit more because of the tension being just gone. And that tension is, I think, really key in terms of healing, because you're always thinking about the toilet, and if you just let that go, if you just let your mind be at peace with yourself and with everything around you, it makes it a hell of a lot easier. And if you start to try these techniques, if you start to do these things, you may realize that it might happen to you as well. I'm not saying that it works for everyone, but you want to try and do whatever it takes to get better, right? So this is what I did, and I'm sure many people can relate. And if you have any ideas, if you have any techniques that you found when you were going through this process of anxiety, post them down below and let me know, because then it will help other people as well. But one thing I just want to make sure is that you don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't know what's going to happen in the next minute. You don't know what's going to happen in the next half an hour. And we worry about things so much that really doesn't help the situation. And so the more we worry, the more we give the power to that thought. And the more we will then manifest those things in our lives, and the more we will go to the bathroom, or the more that we'll have the frequency, and the more that we'll have the urgency. So doing things to try and combat those, or stop fighting your own self, is how you can start to improve. And it's not going to happen overnight, that's for sure. You have to make it a progressive healing. It's progressive healing. So day by day you work on it to then eventually get to a point where, okay, I'm ready to get out there, and use techniques from all sorts of people out there. Louise Hay is a really great person to work with in terms of the mind. There's a lot of other awesome people out there as well. I'll post them down in the links below, but use everything. Use the videos that I have, use the testimonials that are going to encourage you to do this even more. I didn't have any of that to go through when I was healing, and it took me a lot longer because I didn't have this hope as much as you may have now. So that's what I did in terms of my anxiety, and in terms of now anxiety for other things instead of the toilet, I have been able to just let go of, or not even worry about things, because you live this life, and there's it's hard for me to explain this, but you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so why worry about it? You're suffering from this worrying, you're suffering from this anxiety that just doesn't need to be there, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And your assumptions are just assumptions. It's your imagination. And so we get angry at our past for not doing certain things, but then we fear the future for not doing it, or assuming things. So I guess it's a tricky one, but I can tell you that the easiest thing is the diet. If you realize that you need to go through this process, you need to go through this phase and eat these foods to get your physical body better, and for a time frame that you're obviously not going to be eating these foods ever again. There is an expansion, there is a variety, and that's what you work your way towards. But if that's what happens, or if that's what you need to do, then you need to do it. And that's what I did. And that's what so many other people have done as well, in order to heal themselves. And they are thriving today, and so am I. And life is amazing if you want it to be. So don't let this disease get over you. Don't let this anxiety get over you. Be the change that you want to see in this world, and do everything in your power to get there. So hope you found this video helpful. Give it a like, click on the notification bell for more videos like this, and obviously subscribe to our channel for more. But yeah, just don't give up. And there is hope, and there are people out there that are doing really, really well, and they are healing themselves, and you can be one of those people too, just like me and all the others. So take care, guys. See you later.